is available only to an individual, whether that individual is a resident or not resident. In this case, the interest on loan taken for the residential house, that is allowed as a deduction. Here some conditions are there for claiming the benefit under the provision of section 80EE, that those deductions. Assessee has borrowed the money mainly for the purpose of acquisition or purchase of the residential property. Then secondly, that loan must have been sanctioned by any housing finance agencies or banking institutions. And the loan must have been, under one condition is there, according to the provision of section 80EE, loan must have been sanctioned by the banking or housing finance agencies during the period of 1/4/2016 to 31st March 2017. The maximum amount of the loan should not exceed 35 lakh. Suppose if the assessee wants to claim the benefit under section 80EE, the maximum amount of loan should not be more than 35 lakh, and the value of the house property purchased should not exceed 50 lakh rupees. And under but the most important condition, the benefit under this section 80EE is available only to the first house property. That means, suppose if the assessee is already having one house, one or two house, again if he purchases another one house by taking loan from any banks or from any housing financial institution and pays the interest, in that case he is not allowed to claim the benefit under the provision of this section 80EE. Now, maximum amount of the loan, interest payable on the loan or 50,000 rupees, whichever is less, that is allowed as a deduction. Now, we shall go for discussing next but the most important deduction in respect of payment of the donation to certain funds, certain institutions, certain organizations or the association provided under section 80G. Here the deduction is allowed under section 80G in respect of the donation paid, depending upon the status of the donee. Here we need to understand who is a donee and who is a donor. Donor is one who donates the money. Donor is one who gives the money as a donation. Donee is a person to whom the money is donated or fund is donated, is called as donee. Depending upon the status of the donee, under the provision of section 80G, deduction is available. Some of the donations, they are eligible for deduction without applying any qualifying limit. Some other donations are there, they are eligible for deduction after applying qualifying amount. In other words, the donation paid to certain funds or institutions or associations or organization, some donation, not I am telling all, some of the donations they qualifies subject to some limit. That too, the subject to the extent of, they qualify subject to the extent of 10% of the adjusted gross total income. Some other donations are there, they qualifies in full without any limit. I am talking about the qualifying amount, qualifying limit, but not eligible amount of the deduction. Here we need to understand how to compute the amount of the deduction available to the assessee under section 80G in respect of payment of donation from the gross total income. While we are going to compute the amount of the donation deductible under section 80G, we have to perform two jobs. There are some donations, as I have already told you, they qualifies in full. Some other donations are there, they qualifies subject to certain limit. Limit is the donation paid to certain funds or institutions should not be more than 10% of the adjusted gross total income. So, to find out the amount of the deduction available to the assessee in respect of the donation paid, we have to perform two jobs. First of all, we should have to compute the qualifying amount of the donations. While we are going to compute the qualifying amount of the donations, we have to list out the donations which qualifies without any limit, donations which qualifies subject to 10% of the adjusted gross total income. That means some of the donations they qualifies in full, some other donations they qualify subject to the extent of 10% of the adjusted gross total income. Then we will get the total qualifying amount of donation. Based on the total qualifying amount of the donation, we have to calculate, we have to compute the amount of the donation deductible under section 80G from the gross total income. There are some donations which are included in the total qualifying amount. They are eligible for 100% rate of deductions. Some of the donations are there, they are eligible for 50% rate of deductions. Out of the total qualifying amount of the donation that what we have calculated, first of all we have to list out the donations which are eligible for 100% rate of deduction. When we find out the donations eligible for 100% rate of deductions, then we have to find out the donations deductible at the rate of 50% deduction, 50% rate of deduction out of the total qualifying amount. Say for example, the total qualifying amount of the donation is 25 lakh. Out of this 25 lakh, some of the donations they qualifies at the rate of 100%, that is, say for example, amount of rupees 15 lakh, that is eligible for 100% rate of deduction. Remaining 10 lakh rupees donation paid is there, that is 50% of the remaining 10 lakh rupees. That means first 15 lakh, 50% of the 10 lakh means 5 lakh, total amount of the deductions available to the assessee is 20 lakh rupees. Even though the assessee has paid the donation to the tune of qualifying amount of donation to the tune of 25 lakh rupees, he is entitled to claim 20 lakh rupees only from the gross total income. This is regarding the donations under section 80G. Here let me give the gist of the donations which are eligible for or which qualifies for deduction. They includes, we have to classify such deductions. Deductions at 50% of donations without applying qualifying amount. They includes donation to Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Fund, Prime Minister's Drought Relief Fund, then the donation to Indira Gandhi Memorial Fund, donation to Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. Then secondly, the deductions at 100% of donations to the following institutions or funds without applying qualifying limit. Donation to Prime Minister Relief National Relief Fund, donation to Prime Minister's Armenia Earthquake Relief Fund, donation to Africa Fund, donation to National Defence Fund, donation to the National Foundation for Communal Harmony, donation to the National Blood Transfusion Council or any state blood transfusion council, donation to the National Illness Assistance Fund, donation to the National Sports Fund, donation to the Cultural Fund, donation to the Fund for Control of the Drug Abuses, donation to the National Trust for Welfare of the Persons with Autism, Cerebral Palsy, Mental Retardation, Multiple Disabilities, then donation to the National Children's Fund, donation to an university or any educational institutions of national eminence, donation to the Jilla Saksharata Samiti, and donation to the Chief Minister's Earthquake Relief Fund of Maharashtra State, donation to the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister's Cyclone Relief Fund, donation to the Chief Minister's Relief Fund or Lieutenant Governor's Relief Fund, and also donation to any fund set up by the state government for Gujarat providing relief to the victims of earthquake, and donation to any fund set up by state government to provide medical relief to the poor, donation to the Army Central Welfare Fund, Indian Naval Benevolent Fund, Air Force Central Welfare Fund, donation to the Fund for Technology Development and Application, donation to the Swachh Bharat Kosh set up by the central government, donation to the Clean Ganga Fund set up by the central government. These are the various funds or the institutions. As I said already, there are some donations which are eligible for 100% rate of deduction. Some other donations are there, they are eligible for only 50% rate of deductions. While we are going to calculate the qualifying amount of the donation, as I had already told you, to calculate the amount of the donation deductible under section 80G, we have to perform the two jobs. First of all, we have to compute the qualifying amount, total qualifying amount of donation. Then we have to find out the amount of the donation eligible for 100% rate of deduction and the amount of the donations eligible for 50% rate of deduction. Particularly, while we are going to calculate the qualifying amount of donations, as I said earlier, donations qualify subject to the extent of 10% of the adjusted gross total income. We need to understand, while we are going to compute the qualifying amount of the donation, we need to understand the adjusted gross total income. That is very important. Unless we understand, unless we calculate the adjusted gross total income, it is very difficult to compute the qualifying amount of the donation and the amount of the donation deductible under section 80G from the gross total income. Adjusted gross total income means gross total income minus all other deductions right from 80C to 80U except the deduction under section 80G. And also under two deductions, under two items have to be reduced from the gross total income to obtain adjusted gross total income includes. Suppose if the gross total income includes the share of income from the association of persons or body of individuals and the long-term capital gain. Suppose if the gross total income of the assessee includes share of income from the association of persons or body of individuals and the long-term capital gain, they have to be reduced from the gross total income along with the deductions claimed right from 80C to 80U except the deduction under section 80G. Then we will get adjusted gross total income. Finding out of the adjusted gross total income is very important. for the purpose of calculating the amount of donation qualified and amount of donation deductible under section 80G from the gross total income. Now we shall go for discussing the another one most important deduction, that is deduction under section 80G, 80G in respect of the rent paid. An employee, suppose if he is not receiving any house rent allowance from the employers, nor he is provided with a rent-free house, but he is residing in the rental house and paying the rent of the house, Once again, I would like to repeat, suppose if the assessee is not receiving any house rent allowances, nor he is being provided with a rent-free house or rent-free quarters, but residing in the rental house and paying the rent of the house to the owner, in such situation, he is entitled to claim the deduction under section 80G in respect of such rent paid. Let me explain about how much amount of the deduction. What is the provision? What is the provision of section 80G in respect of the deduction in respect of the rent paid? How much amount and subject to what conditions an assessee can claim the deduction under section 80G from the gross total income? Actual amount of the rent paid to the owner of the house property in excess over 10% of his total income. Actual, in other words, it can be put it in some other way as actual amount of rent paid in excess of 10% of the total income or 25% of his total income or 5,000 rupees per month. Once again, I will repeat, actual amount of the rent paid to the owner of the house property or 25% of his total income or rupees 5,000 per month, whichever is less is allowed as a deduction from the gross total income. The benefit of this deduction, however, is allowed subject to the satisfaction of some conditions. What are those conditions? Number 1, assessee should not have his own house. That is very important. Either in his own name or in the name of his wife or in the name of the minor child. In the case of the assessee being a Hindu undivided family also should not own any house. Either in the place where he resides or at the place where he is performing his duties of an office. Second important condition, assessee should have to file a declaration in the prescribed form along with the amount of the rent paid during the previous year. That means here the assessee, if you want to claim the deduction under section 80G, he must have to produce receipt for the rent paid. That receipt should have to be enclosed along with the return of income, and also he has to declare before the income tax department or in the income tax return that he has to declare that he is paying the rent. The owner is so and so, owner address is so and so, owner name is so and so, and I am paying this much of rent every month to the owner. Like this, he has to make a declaration in writing, and that has to be attached along with the income tax return. So here I told you 25% of the total income, that I uttered the word provision while discussing about the provision. What is total income? In this context, I would like to throw some light upon these two important terms: gross total income, total income. Gross total income means what? Gross total income refers to, it's the aggregate of income derived by the assessee under the different heads or from the different sources before making the deductions provided under section 80C to 80U. It is called as the gross total income. In the ordinary language, it can be put it. Gross total income means income before deductions. Income before deduction under section 80C to 80U. Then let me explain total income. What do you mean by total income? Total income refers to, it's the aggregate of income derived by the assessee from the different heads arrived after making the deductions provided under section 80C to 80U is called as total income. In the process of calculating the amount of the rent deduction in respect of the rent paid, we have to find out total income. We have to calculate the total income. Total income here means gross total income minus all other deductions right from 80C to 80U except the deduction under section 80 double G. Then we will get the total income or taxable income. Total income is nothing but a taxable income. Okay, this is what the benefit of deduction under section 80G in respect of the rent paid. Next deduction, there is a deduction in respect of contribution made by the person to the political parties or electoral trust under section 80GGC. If a person contributes the money to the political party which is duly recognized by the People Representation Act 1951, that amount is eligible for claiming the deductions from the gross total income. But what is most important is here, the benefit of deduction under 80GGC in respect of contribution to the political party will not be available. Suppose if the assessee contributes the money in the form of cash, compulsorily the contribution must have been made by the assessee in the form of check or DD or through any other modern means of payment. And such a political party to whom the contribution the assessee is making must be duly recognized, registered under the provisions of section 297 of the People Representation Act 1951. This is section 80GGC. Then another one, deduction under section QQB. According to this section, the benefit under this section is available in respect of royalty income of the authors of certain books. Sometimes the assessee may be writing the book, he may be an author of some books. Instead of he himself is printing and selling the books, he may sell the copyright of the books to some publishers. In exchange of it, he gets some royalty from the publishers. Such a royalty is in the first instance is an income of the author that is included in his gross total income. But in respect of such a royalty income of the author, he is entitled to claim the deduction under section 80QQB. Let me explain about how much amount of the deduction that can be claimed by the assessee being an author. 100% of such royalty income received or maximum rupees 3 lakh, whichever is less. Maximum ceiling limit is 3 lakh. Suppose if the royalty is actual royalty issued by the author is 1,50,000. 1,50,000 or 3 lakh, whichever is less, that can be claimed by the assessee from the gross total income. Then another one is there, deduction in respect of royalty received on the patents. Section 80 RRB provides for the income of the royalty received on patents. Herein also the deduction available to the assessee is 100% of such royalty income on patents, subject to a maximum of 3 lakh that can be claimed as deduction from the gross total income. Then another one deduction is there, section 80TTA. 80TTA. This deduction is available in respect of interest on the deposit in a savings bank account scheme, that is deduction up to rupees 10,000 in aggregate shall be allowed as a deduction. An assessee being an individual, Hindu endowed family, in respect of any income by way of interest on deposit, not being the fixed deposit, term deposit, time deposit in the savings bank account scheme, is allowed as a deduction. But this deduction under 80TTA is available only to a person other than senior citizen, because the senior citizens are provided the benefit under some other section that is called as 80TTB. Okay. So maximum amount of interest on saving scheme